men and women of the Ewing Township Police Department, the Ewing Township Fire Department, the West Trenton Volunteer Fire Department, the Prospect Heights Volunteer Fire Department, and the Ewing Township EMS, for they continually train and are prepared to take on whatever they may be called upon to do to protect our families, protect our homes, protect our communities. For they remain vigilant so we can all be safe. I also want to recognize those with me on stage tonight. Chief Brower from the Prospect Heights Volunteer Fire Company, Chief Clark from Ewing Township EMS, and Chief Rhodes from Ewing Township Police Department, who's in the audience with his staff. A special salute to our veterans for what they have sacrificed for us so we can live in freedom without fear. Thank you. Please rise if you're able. Thank you. At this time, we'll have the presentation of colors by Ewing Township Emergency Services.
Detail. Halt. Left. Face.
This time I'll call up Rich Rakowski from the Patriotic Committee to do our flag salute.
If you're able, please stand and join me in the pledge and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. On. Post. Good. Right. Face. Forward. March. Left. 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 Right. Left. 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 Right. Left. Left.
At this time, I'm going to have Juliana Calabrese come up and sing the national anthem for us. Juliana?
Oh, say, can you see by a dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare to bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
Thank you, Juliana. Next, please be seated. Next, I'm going to invite Aiden Patron up here for our invocation.
Good evening. I will not make you do evening calisthenics. If you will, please bow your heads or whatever feels spiritually appropriate for you. All-knowing, pain-bearing creator and sustainer, we as community come together to remember and to offer thanksgiving to those who died on September 11th, 2001, and to offer thanksgiving to those who served and continue to serve. We come together as community to acknowledge the pain of those still with us today who continue to be impacted mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Grant peace, loving Creator, to minds that are troubled. Provide relief to bodies that are pained. Soothe hearts that are suffering. And grant us the courage to be vulnerable as we speak our truths. Loving Creator, be ever present with us in this tender evening as we recognize the services rendered and the sacrifices made. To you, Creator, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Aiden. This time I'm going to have Administrator Watson come up to introduction of distinguished guests.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. All right. Look, make no mistake about it, everyone here is a distinguished guest, but I have the honor of recognizing two colleagues that sit on our council that are here with us today, Councilwoman Sarah Stewart and Councilman David Schroth, who you'll hear a little bit from in a minute. So, unfortunately, we are not going to be joined this evening by Council President Baxter, nor Councilwoman Keys Maloney, or Councilwoman Waller, but they wanted to let you know that their heart is here, and they fully recognize the significance of this moment. So on behalf of Mayor Burt Steinman, I wish to thank the Ewing Township Patriotic Committee for hosting this remembrance service. First, let me take a moment to recognize a few guests, and I've done that, so we'll just keep it moving. It's hard to believe that 23 years have passed since the attacks on September 11, 2001. For the families of the 2,977 innocent lives lost, the pain of that day hasn't faded. There are still empty chairs at dinner tables, birthday parties, and dreams that were never realized. On this solemn day, we pause to reflect on the courage and sacrifice of so many firefighters, police officers, first responders, and everyday citizens who put others before themselves in the face of unimaginable tragedy. For the rest of us, the memories of that tragedy remain etched in our minds, as vivid today as they were then. Though times move forward, the emotions connected to that day, they never fully diminish. But what stands out most, even now, is the way we came together as a nation. In the face of darkness, there was courage, compassion, and unity. So today we honor those lost and those who heroically responded. Let us also remember how we supported each other in our grief. That unity is in fact our strength. So thank you all for being here to remember, to reflect, and to pay tribute to the heroes of 9/11, and to extend our deepest gratitude to those who continue to protect and serve us every day. And most of all, let us never forget. Thank you.
Township.
Director Strauss, thank you. Administrator Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, first responders, we gather here today to remember and honor those we lost on September 11, 2001. 23 years have passed, yet the memories of that tragic day remain. They are burned into our memories, our hearts, and our souls. On that clear Tuesday morning, our nation faced an unthinkable attack. Nearly 3,000 innocent lives were taken from us in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. They were our friends, family members, colleagues, and fellow Americans. They came from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and all corners of our great nation. Today we remember each and every one of them. We also pay tribute to the incredible bravery, selflessness displayed by our first responders and ordinary citizens. Firefighters, police officers, emergency medical personnel rushed into burning buildings to save others, many sacrificing their own lives in the process. Countless acts of heroism and compassion occurred that day, showing the very best of humanity in the face of unspeakable evil. Over the years since, countless first responders and ordinary citizens have suffered through illnesses and death as a direct result of the injuries suffered that day, exposure to toxic chemicals during rescue and cleanup. We also remember members of our military, our intelligence community, and civilians who were injured and their families in the war on terror that was born of 9/11. Children who were infants at that time have grown up without that parent. Some have followed in their footsteps. We heard stories and have heard stories. Some of them have become New York City firemen. Some of them have followed in their father's footsteps and become police officers in New York City and EMTs. Others have gone through school and gotten married and had families of their own. A child who was 10 on that day is now 33. In the days and weeks and years that have followed 9/11, we've come together as a nation. We've supported one another. We've mourned one another. And we have become a more resilient country in the process. Stephen Ambrose, the great historian, once wrote, "Our nation, through its history of war, beginning with the American Revolution, through the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea and Vietnam, emerged from each one stronger than before. It's incumbent upon us, and I know such is the case, to emerge from September 11 and the war on terror stronger and better as a nation than we were on September 10th. As we stand here 2 decades later, we reaffirm our commitment to never forget. We'll never forget the courage of those who risked everything to help others, and we will never forget how we came together as a nation in the aftermath, proving our shared values of love for one another are stronger than any force that seeks to divide us. As we remember, let us also look to the future with hope. Let us recommit ourselves to the ideals that make our nation great: freedom, justice, compassion for all. Let us strive to build a world of greater understanding and peace, where such tragedy never happens again. May we find strength in our unity, comfort in our shared memories, and hope in our common purpose. And may God bless all of you and the United States of America.
Thank you, Councilman Schroeder. I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce our speaker for tonight's ceremony, Director of the New Jersey Division of Fire Safety, Richard J. McCuskey. Director McCuskey was appointed by Governor Phil Murphy in April of 2018 as Director, State Fire Marshal of the New Jersey Division of Fire Safety. The Division of Fire Safety is the state's central fire service agency responsible for the development and enforcement of the Uniform Fire Code and implementing public education and firefighter training programs. As State Fire Marshal, Director McCuskey is the lead fire official in charge of enforcing state fire codes, investigating fire-related injuries, deaths, and crimes, directing fire prevention efforts, and coordinating fire suppression efforts statewide. I have always referred to the New Jersey Division of Fire Safety as the Attorney General's Office of the Fire Service. Prior to becoming Fire Marshal, Director McCuskey served as a career firefighter for the Morristown Fire Bureau in Morristown, New Jersey, where he worked for more than 32 years. In 2013, he was promoted to the rank of captain, a rank he held until his retirement in February of 2018. Over the years, I've had the honor and privilege of having Director McCuskey as a mentor and a leader in the fire service, but more importantly, being able to call him a friend. There is no doubt that Director McCuskey will continue to take the fire service in the state of New Jersey into the future. Without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce New Jersey Division of Fire Safety Director Richard McCuskey.
Thank you, Director. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be here with you all tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow first responders, community members, good evening, and again, it's an honor to be here. Tonight we gather to remember one of the darkest days in our nation's history, to honor the memory of those we lost and to pay tribute to the heroism of our first responders. September 11th, 2001, a day that pretty much looked just like today, was a day that will forever change our country, our communities, and our fire service. On that day, nearly 3,000 innocent lives were lost, including 343 of our brothers and sisters from the FDNY. These brave men and women rushed into harm's way, showing the world what true courage and sacrifice really look like. Their actions on that day embodied the very spirit of what it means not only to be a firefighter, but to be an American. 23 years ago, our nation faced unimaginable tragedy. But in our darkest hour, the courage and selflessness of our first responders shone as a beacon of hope. Firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and ordinary citizens rushed towards the danger without hesitation, saving countless lives. Today we remember not only the nearly 3,000 innocent lives taken, but also the bravery and sacrifice of those who answered the call of duty. The first responders who climbed the stairs of the burning towers, the passengers of Flight 93 who fought back against the hijackers, and all of those who worked tirelessly in the rescue and recovery efforts. To the families who lost loved ones, we stand with you in grief and remembrance. Your pain will never fully heal, but know that your loved ones will never be forgotten. To our first responders, past and present, we owe you a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. Your unwavering commitment to protecting and serving others, even at great personal risk, represents the very best of America. As we reflect on that tragic day, let's also remember how it brought out the best in humanity, the unity, the compassion, and resilience of American people. May we honor the memory of those we lost by rekindling that spirit of national unity and recommitting ourselves to the ideals that make our nation strong. The immediate impact of the attacks on 9/11 were unlike anything our nation had ever seen. The scale of destruction, the loss of life, and the sheer heroism displayed by first responders and ordinary citizens left an indelible mark on all of us. In the face of unimaginable chaos, firefighters, police officers, and EMS personnel responded with unwavering bravery. They did not hesitate. They did not falter. They ran towards the danger when everyone else was running out. The aftermath of that day revealed the strengths and shortcomings of the emergency services and the emergency response system. It was clear that we were fully not prepared for an event of this magnitude, and it became a turning point for the fire service for sure, a call to action that would shape our profession for many years to come. Since 9/11, the fire service has definitely transformed. We have evolved from traditional firefighting and rescue operations to an all-hazard response force, prepared for any threat, whether it be natural, accidental, or intentional. We are now trained to handle incidents involving chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive threats. The fire service is on the front lines of protecting our communities, not just from fires, but from all manner of emergencies. We've also seen significant improvements in how we communicate and work together. The tragedy of 9/11 exposed critical gaps in our communication systems, promoting nationwide efforts to improve radio interoperability, establish common operating procedures. The implementation of the National Incident Management System, or the NIMS as we know it, and the widespread adoption of the Incident Command System, or ICS, have standardized how we respond to major incidents, ensuring that every agency works in unison during times of crisis. The fire service has also placed a stronger emphasis on the health and safety of our personnel. The loss of so many lives that day and the subsequent illnesses faced by those who worked on the pile at Ground Zero have driven advancements in our personal protective equipment and the adoption of protocols to better protect firefighters from the dangers we face, both seen and unseen. Moreover, 9/11 brought a new awareness of mental health challenges that come with our jobs. The emotional toll on first responders at Ground Zero was immense. We have since recognized that the psychological well-being of our firefighters is just as important as our physical safety. Today, we see peer support programs, counseling services, resilience training as a central part of our mission to take care of those who take care of others. So what have we learned? From the ashes of 9/11, we've learned the valuable lessons that continue to guide us today. We have learned the importance of being prepared for the unexpected, of training rigorously, and of continually improving our response capabilities. We have learned that communication and coordination are critical, and that no one agency can do it alone, and that through a unified effort, we can overcome the greatest of all challenges. We've also learned the importance of honoring and remembering. The memory of those 343 fallen firefighters serves as a constant reminder of why we do what we do. It's a reminder of the courage, dedication, and selflessness that defines our profession. We honor the legacy by committing ourselves to the highest standards of service and by ensuring that their sacrifices were not in vain. As we reflect on the events of September 11, 2001, let us carry forward the lessons we've learned. Let us continue to train, to innovate, and to work together in the spirit of unity and purpose. Let us always remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves, and that each day when we put our gear on, we are upholding a legacy of bravery, sacrifice, and service. We will never forget the sacrifices made on 9/11. We will never forget the heroes who gave their lives so that many others may live. And we will never stop striving to be worthy of their legacy. I'd just like to leave you with this one last point, and I hope this has a profound impact on you. 23 years have passed since a perfect blue sky morning turned into the blackest of nights. 23 years ago, on the night of September 10th, 246 people went to sleep in preparation for their morning flights. 2,606 citizens went to sleep in preparation for work in the morning. 343 firefighters went to sleep in the firehouse preparing to either get off that morning or start their shift that next morning. 60 police officers went to sleep in preparation for their morning patrol. 8 paramedics went to sleep in preparation for their morning assignment. Not a single one of them saw past 10 a.m. the next morning, September 11th. One single moment, life would never again be the same. As you live and enjoy the breaths you take tonight, before you go to sleep in preparation for your day tomorrow, kiss the ones you love, hold them a little tighter, and never take 1 second of life for granted. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you tonight. May we always remain strong, united, and committed to our mission of protecting those in need. Stay safe. God bless America.
Thank you, Director. At this time, I'm going to have Juliana Calabrese come back up and sing God Bless America for us.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, why we're found. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Juliana. And thank you to the Villa Victoria Academy and Mom and Dad for allowing you to share this night with us. Unfortunately, as we've heard a few times tonight, we had 3 residents, 3 pillars of our community perish on the tragic day of September 11, 2001. Colleen Fraser, Richard Guardado, and Joshua Reese. As all the others from that day and those who've perished since then, please remember at all times to keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Chief Brower.
As you probably heard, our first responders took in a call right now, so I'm going to ask firefighter Noddy if you wouldn't mind ringing the bell when I give you the signal to fill in for the gentleman who was going to do it earlier. The significance of the bell. Throughout most of history, the life of a firefighter has been closely associated with the ringing of a bell. As they began their tour of duty, it was the bell that started the shift. Throughout the day and night, each alarm was sounded by a bell, which called them to duty and to place their life in jeopardy for the good of their fellow man. And when the call had ended, the alarm was completed, it was the bell that rang the signal to the end. It is 5 bells, what we in the fire service solemnly know as the Signal 555. That recognizes the death of a firefighter. Tonight, we present the Signal 555 to honor all those who passed during the attacks on America that day, 9/11. And for all those who have died since that time as a result of illnesses and injuries. We also performed the Signal 555 for the following Ewing first responders who have passed during this past year. From Station 31, Lester Gilbert, U.S. Navy veteran, Vietnam. Robert Ballant, Station 31, U.S. Army veteran, Vietnam. From Station 31, and past Chief William Bennett, U.S. Navy veteran, Vietnam. And from Station 31, Louis Finelli, U.S. Army veteran, Korea. They have completed their task, their duties well done. And the bell rings 5 times, followed by a pause. 5 times, followed by a pause. And one more time, five times, in memory and in tribute to their lives and their service to our community. Could I have a Signal 555 335?
Thank you, Chief. This time I'm going to ask the Ewing Township Police Department bugler to play taps. If you're able to rise, please do. Please be seated. Aiden?
Life is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us on this journey. So be quick to love, and make haste to be kind, and go in peace to serve those in need. May our Creator, whose love and peace surpasses all understanding, bless us and keep us. May our Creator's face shine brightly upon us. May our Creator be present within us and bring us peace forevermore. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's remember all the innocent people who lost their lives that day. 2,565 civilians, 343 firefighters, 60 police officers, and 8 EMTs, along with those who have died since then. I want each of you to depart tonight and take with you these two words, tradition and remembrance. Remembrance. I ask that you continue to remember September 11th, 2001. Remember the beauty of that morning, but never forget the horror that followed. Remember to honor and pay tribute to the innocent people, the police officers, the firefighters, and the rescuers who were horrifically taken from us on this day, 23 Septembers ago. Remember to honor and to pay tribute not only to the hundreds who have died from illnesses from 9/11, but to those who are still fighting them. Remember the men and women who were helping and comforting each other in the towers and in those planes. Remember the heroic efforts of the police officers and the firefighters who raced into the towers only to never come out. Remember the terror, but please never forget the patriotism it generated. Tradition. I read a story about West Point class of 2016. West Point has a ring ceremony for their graduating seniors. This annual ceremony is full of tradition and honor. In years past, the West Point class rings were made of gold. Gold that was new, gold that was pure. However, in 2002, a new tradition began. Since then, not just only gold goes into these rings. They are made of gold from class rings that were worn by earlier graduates. Prior graduates, or the families of prior graduates, some long deceased and some with storied careers, have donated their rings to be melted down and mixed with the gold for the new rings. In West Point lore, this enables today's graduates to connect with the graduates of the past. A small amount of this mixed gold is put aside and added to next year's ring, and so on and so on. In 2016, at the request of the graduates themselves, instead of having just gold rings, they asked that the gold for their rings be mixed with steel from the World Trade Center. These brave men and women who were just 7 or 8 years old at the time of these attacks were now ready to defend us at all costs. And they will carry with them the steel from buildings when they fell made us stronger, the steel from a day we will never forget. I hope this steel protects them, gives them strength, and helps them know how thankful we are for their sense of duty, commitment, and selflessness to us all. They have not forgotten. As we go on with our lives after this ceremony, please take a moment and remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and those who, like our police officers, our firefighters, our EMS workers, standing here with you, are ready to do the same. Yes, the tragic events of 9/11 took from us many things, but they have also given us many things. Be thankful for what we have. Cherish the moments we spend with our families and our friends. Take nothing for granted. Live every day to its fullest. Ladies and gentlemen, like the graduates of West Point, please never forget. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Be safe in your travels. May God bless the United States of America.
Wait, I gotta go with you. Oh, are you going with Billy? I all right. I need to get my
Hey, how you doing? All right, yes, sir.